Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Zach from Zach's Soapbox, back with another video for the week of Friday, March 20th, 2026. Hello everyone, I'm your host, this little shindig we call Zach. I'm Zach's Soapbox, I'm Zach, and coming to you live from my living room today. My wheelchair took a shit a few weeks ago. We're working on getting a new one. The physical therapist was here today to do the assessment for the new wheelchair. So by the end of March, I should have a new chair and be up off the ground, but coming to you from the living room floor today. Anyways, without further ado, like I said, I'm Zach. Welcome to Zach's Soapbox. And this week, what I have for you is something a little different. I'm going to show off my Satanic library. Now, when I say Satanic versus when a Christian says Satanic, it means two different things. Satanism is not devil worship. Satanism is more of a philosophy, and we use Satan as a symbol for what we're about. Satan is a word that just simply means adversary or accuser. So because this is a religion of the flesh and of the carnal and the earthly, we use Satan as the mascot for what we're about, which is pride, lust, earthly success, rational self-interest, atheism, humor, nonconformity, science, a passion for living, and the like. So in a nutshell, that's Satanism in its core. We're atheist, you know what I mean? So some of these books that are in this might surprise you. Of course, I have all the traditional satanic canon by Dr. LaVey, the founder of the Church of Satan, etc. But let's get started here. And I'll start with a book that's certainly on the Church of Satan reading list. Friedrich Nietzsche's The Antichrist. It's one of my favorite Nietzsche books. It's been a while since I read it. But it's certainly on the Church of Satan reading list as well. I would say that Friedrich Nietzsche is probably by far the most kind of influential satanic philosopher. It's not Ayn Rand like everybody, oh, Ayn Rand. Well, no, I think what it is both Dr. LaVey and Ayn Rand both pulled from Friedrich Nietzsche. And, you know, but so we have the Antichrist, and then we have, no particular order here, the Book of Satanic Quotations, edited by Matt G. Paradise. Satanic Quotations, there's even like quotes from Plutarch in here. There's a quote from Karl Marx in here. There's a bunch of quotes from Dr. LaVey, Richard Dawkins, Christopher Hitchens. But yeah, the Book of Satanic Quotations put out by Purging Talon and Magister Matt G. Paradise. Let's see what else we have. We have the book Satan Wants You, kind of on the Satanic Panic by Arthur Lyons, where he interviews Dr. LaVey. One of the things I remember this book saying is, Dr. LaVey, well, most members of the Church of Satan don't even like or agree with each other. And he says, good, I don't want sycophants. This is the book that also talks about Crowleyanity, but Satan Wants You by Arthur Lyons. Let's see what else we have. Anton LaVey Speaks. I even put the appropriate sticker because it's actually under here is a pentacle, not a pentagram. This is from an interview Dr. LaVey gave back around 1969 or so, I think, right around I think. It's been a while. Some of these, it's been a long time since I read them, so it's kind of hard to remember, you know. And then, of course, we have the Devil's Notebook, put out by Farrell House Publishing and Adam Palfrey, published around 1992. Some of my favorites in this one include The Importance of Being Evil, the Combination Lock Principle, the Third Side Perspective, things like that. There's a lot to get to too, so I don't want to spend too much time on each book. We have a copy of Might is Right by Ragnar Redbeard, Arthur Desmond, real name, Survival of the Fittest, and that sort of thing. This is the one put out by Dill Pickle Press. Then we have the big tome of We Are Satanist by Magister Templi Rex, Blanche Barton. She's the chairperson of the Council of Nine, which is the board of directors for the Church of Satan. This is kind of the follow-up to, they were going to re-release Satan Speaks, which is Dr. LaVey's authorized biography, but they ended up kind of doing this one. It's a tome in and of itself, over 700 pages. We have We Are Satanist. Um, we have Infernalia, the writings of Magister Michael Rose, the second edition. So though I like the essay in here where he's describing kind of how he views when he's in satanic ritual, the Lucifer being the light bringer is the conscious mind, and Leviathan being the serpent of the depths is the unconscious mind. He's even talking about the Jungian aspects of satanic philosophy, things like that. That's one essay I remember enjoying in this book. Also, the essay about satanic brotherhood I thought really hit home, because you see that in a lot of pseudo-satanic groups, satanic brothers and sisters, when there are no satanic brothers and sisters because Satan didn't die on the cross for our sins, so it doesn't make sense. What else we have? Letters from the Devil, which is put out by, I believe this was put out by Scapegoat Publishing, and I believe that's Magister Slaughter, if I'm not mistaken. But Dr. LeVay, he used to write for, I think, the San Francisco Chronicle back in the 60s and 70s, and had a little column. And this is some of the collections of the things that people wrote into him to ask about. Like someone asked him about transgenderism in like 1971. And he's like, am I crazy for feeling like I'm transgender? And Dr. LeVay's like, no, I don't think you're crazy at all. And he cites like 2 different psychologists. And for the record, we've always had members of the LGBTQ plus community in our church, even in our priesthood, right from the beginning. So there is no, we have always been pro LGBTQ plus in the Church of Satan. We're pro human sexuality in the first place. So we have The Devil's Due, Essays of the Alien Elite by Reverend E.R. Werner. I know that D.A. Marshall wrote an essay on masculinity in this book. I'm trying to remember what else is in it. But there were some good essays in here that I also enjoyed. Let's see what else we got. The Satanic Rituals, of course, the companion to the Satanic Bible. Believe it or not, I've never ritualized with another Satanist. I've always ritualized alone, which if Magister Bill ever saw this, he would kind of chastise me. Oh, ritualize with another Satanist before you die, but one time. I'm working on that. Maybe sometime I'll do it, but, I live in Vegas now, but I've always been a white boy from the sticks, where there was churches on every corner, so it's kind of hard to ritualize with other Satanists. And on top of that, being military bound and things like that. So, but the Satanic Rituals, the Satanic Baptism is in here. The Black Mass is in here. There's 2 Satanic baptisms, because there's one for like little babies and there's one for like adults. Actually, I used the adult version in here to baptize myself when I was 26 years old. And I used like a Pyrex bowl and like a Yankee candle, and like I banged a spoon on the side of this bowl because I didn't have like all the stuff, but I certainly did a baptism ritual for myself. Let's see what else we got. The Secret Life of a Satanist, the authorized biography of Anton LaVey by Magister Barton. And then we have, of course, an extra copy of the Satanic Bible. This one's got some soot on it from lighting candles and being around smoke and stuff like that. But, it's still okay. And then we have Lucifer Rising by Gavin Badley. This was kind of a cool book, kind of dealing with like satanic themes in popular culture and things like that. And then we have, of course, another one from Canon. We have the Satanic Scriptures by Magus Peter H. Gilmore. Some of my favorites in here include the What the Devil essay at the end, the primer for the fledgling misanthropologist, of course, Satanism, the Feared Religion, things like that. Those are some of my favorites. Also, there's the Fascism Question essay in this book. And then we have a more updated version of Secret Life of the Satanist. Again, Dr. LeVay's authorized biography. Then, of course, we have the Satanic Witch, what it was originally known as. In 1971, it was published. It was the Satanic Witch, the Complete Witch, What to Do When Virtue Fails. But this is the more updated version of the Satanic Witch by Dr. LeVay. As far as I can figure, I think according to the synthesizer clock in this book, I have a 10 o'clock personality. You know what I mean? As best I can figure. Definitely, worth reading, and definitely kind of gets into a lot more lesser magic. And you say, well, because it says witch, does that really matter? No, because applied psychology works for both sexes. You know what I mean? So I really think people that don't read this because it says witch really miss the boat. And then we got, of course, we got Satan Speaks, the last book by Dr. LaVey, published posthumously by Farrow House after he died in 1998. Marilyn Manson actually did the foreword for this book. No, Marilyn Manson is not a Satanist. He knew Anton LaVey was given an honorary priesthood, but he is not a Satanist, never considered himself a Satanist. But they were friends, and he did the foreword to this book. Some of my favorites in this book include The Lies My Mother Never Told Me, and the Jewish Question, The God of Assholes is in here, The Church of Satan, The Cosmic Joy Buzzer, things like that. Let's see what else we got. We got another version of Might is Right. This one's got the foreword by Magus Peter H. Gilmore, put out by Scapegoat Publishing. Because the actual first book of the Satanic Bible was the Book of Satan, the Infernal Diatribe, and that takes the best parts of Might is Right and uses it, in the Satanic Bible, and in, blessed are the strong, blessed are the mighty-minded, that sort of thing. Let's see what else we got. We have Bearing the Devil's Mark by Magister Matt G. Paradise, and put out by Purging Talent Publishing. We have Anton LaVey and the Church of Satan by Magister Carl Abrahamson. But yeah, this was a cool book. Definitely, all these are worth checking out if you're interested in this sort of thing. And if you're not, that's okay too. This is my religion. It doesn't have to be your religion. And, yeah, we have that book. And then we have, let's just pick another one here. We have The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli. Definitely because it deals with power and how to attain it. There's certainly a satanic rub there because, of course, might is right, but might is simply a form of power. So sometimes having power and, it just depends on how you wield it. You don't need to necessarily be a tyrant to have power, but definitely worth a read to see how human psychology and people work in a way, Let's see what else we got. We got The Fire from Within, Volume 1 by Magister Nemo. This book was kind of cool, like when he's talking about the sixth tower of Satan and Satanic Ritual. What else is in here? There's an essay on him carrying a 22. He used to carry a 45, and then he carries a 22. I can't remember the name of some of these essays, but I know I've read the book. But definitely, longtime magister in the Church of Satan, definitely worth a read. Let's see what else we got. The Book of Satanic Parables and Fables by R. Smith. Kind of like in the Aesop's Fables, or sometimes when somebody tells a fable or a story, they take a moral story. It's kind of deals with things from a satanic perspective and gives a satanic take on things. Let's see what else we got. We have The Twilight of Idols, How to Philosophize with a Hammer by Friedrich Nietzsche. Definitely worth a read. This is later in Nietzsche's life when his syphilis started to take hold. But, really anything Nietzsche is worth a read. I'm even as a communist, I really still enjoy Nietzsche. I think there's definitely a lot that the left can learn from Nietzsche, but that's a different debate. What else we got? We got The Satanic Warlock by Magister Dr. Robert Johnson. The Satanic Warlock lives, walks on 2 feet, but lives as if he walks on all fours. Definitely worth a read. Again, human and applied psychology, kind of, able to manipulate your world around you to get what you need, what you want, and what your heart desires. Again, because Satan is all about you and getting what you can out of life. So, what else do we got? We got I, Lucifer, Exploring the Origins and the Archetype of the Devil by Corvus Nocturnum. Definitely an interesting read. Gets into the idea of the archetype and what the symbols can mean, kind of whatever we put into them, and things like that. What else? We got a couple more for you. The unabridged version of the Devil's Dictionary by Ambrose Bierce. It's on the Church of Satan reading list. Kind of like misfortune. Well, that's the kind of fortune that never misses. What was the thing about a lighthouse? A lighthouse operator is a guy with a friend in the government that always have a job. That sort of thing. And then we have a good treatise on Satanism, Essays in Satanism by Magister James D. Sass. And I believe the forward of this is done by forwarded by Magus Peter H. Gilmore, and the afterword by High Priestess Peggy Nadramia. But yeah, definitely worth a read, especially like the deep Satanism. I liked that essay in this book, which was, I think, the first essay in the book, actually. You know what I mean? But yeah, definitely worth checking out. Another thing he says in here that's memorable is the Church of Satan doesn't care what direction you point your dick. Let's see. And then we have, of course, Thus Spake Zarathustra by Friedrich Nietzsche, again on the Church of Satan reading list. Kind of, man, as he kind of moves beyond morality and religion, kind of reaches the lion, you know what I mean? That sort of thing, but Thus Spake Zarathustra. And, of course, we have another Friedrich Nietzsche, and the last one, we have Beyond Good and Evil by Friedrich Nietzsche, kind of getting beyond the idea of morality, that morality is subjective as to what one likes versus what one doesn't like. And morality is kind of dictated by social and cultural mores, etc., getting beyond the Judeo-Christian morality and the slave mentality and that sort of thing. But so, anyways, guys, that's a quick overview of my Satanic library. Let me know if you have any of those books. Most of the books I either got off Amazon or Lulu, like that Essays in Satanism book by Magister James D. Sass. I don't even think that's in print anymore. Not sure. But, let me know what some of you guys have down there, and, because I know some of you fellow Satanists watch some of these videos, so be sure to let me know about what's in your library. All right, guys, have a good weekend, and I'll see you next time.